Loan Goalkeeper Edition. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, and this is part 1 of 4 of my Keep, Sell, Loan series. So in this series, I'm going to go through each of the position, goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and attacker, and go through Chelsea's list of players and then see which players I would keep, loan, and sell. It's very self-explanatory, right? I also asked you guys over on Instagram to vote in my stories for what you would do, so I'm going to be sharing the results here as well. And we actually did align quite a bit. I think almost all of them we aligned, so that was really cool to see. If you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure to follow me there so you get to vote and stuff like this. So without further ado, let's get into this video. There were a couple of constraints that I tried to take into place. We need to have 25 players, and then 8 of them have to be homegrown, so English talent. So I tried to take that into consideration when going through my Keep, Sell, Loan. And then also I tried to take into account as well that Chelsea really haven't signed so many players. We do have other players that are likely going to be coming into the team in this transfer window as well, so leaving a few spots available for them. Obviously, this is just my opinion. It could change based off of the transfer information we get, maybe based off of the Euros, based off of preseason. So there's a lot that's going on, but I thought that it would be fun to see and then maybe compare to how I did in my video and then what actually happens when the transfer window closes. So this goalkeeper video is going to be the shortest of the lot because there really aren't so many goalkeepers compared to the players in other positions, but let's get into it. The first one is Robert Sanchez. We just signed him from Brighton, and he joined Chelsea on a 7-year deal for £25 million, and that is a really long deal. Chelsea signed him basically to be the starting goalkeeper, and he did start for the first half of last season. I thought that he was okay. I didn't think that he was outstanding. I didn't think that he was horrible. I just thought that he was pretty average. I don't think that he's great playing with his feet. We saw many times that he's gotten caught out before or looked a little bit shaky or kind of made a pass that gave the ball away and put Chelsea into a precarious position. And we know that with Maresca, he wants his goalkeeper to be essentially an extra defender on the pitch, if you will. He wants to be able to build up play from that goalkeeper position. And I just don't see Robert Sanchez as being that person. So for me, Robert Sanchez is a sell in this window. And 63% of you agreed with me for selling him. I just don't think that he's going to be the number 2. I don't think he's going to be the number 3. I think if we can at least recoup some, if not all, of the value that we got for him, I think that he's still in a position that we would be able to do that he would be able to play and maybe be a starting goalkeeper even for another Premier League team. But I just don't think that he's starting goalkeeper material for Chelsea. Could be quite difficult given the long length of contract that he has, but he is one that I would be looking to sell this summer. Next up is Marcus Bettinelli, and over half of you voted to keep him, and I agree. So Bettinelli is going to be your third choice keeper. He's 32 years old. He's a solid choice. He's also homegrown talent, so he contributes to that homegrown quota, if you will, and I don't see any need or reason to replace him at this point in time. I think he fits in perfectly for being the third choice keeper. He is what we need. And so for those reasons, he's a key. Next up, we have Djordie Petrovic, and I think this one is also an interesting one. I thought that it was going to be a lot more varied in the poll, and he made 22 Premier League appearances last season and played just under 2,000 minutes. And he essentially took the number 1 spot from Robert Sanchez after he got injured and was Chelsea's starting goalkeeper for the second half of the season. And I thought that he made some really great saves, some really crucial saves, and I thought he looked pretty good. I still feel that there's more that I need to see from him. I'm still not 100% convinced whether he's starting goalkeeper material. And again, I don't think that he's necessarily the best playing out with his feet either, and he's gotten himself into some precarious situations as well. His pass completion was around 78% last year, and it was high for short and medium passes, but pretty low for long passes. I guess that's something that you might expect, but there are goalkeepers that have really good long range passing as well. So personally, I would like to keep him the majority of you, over the majority of you, 90% of you agreed with me to keep Petrovic and at least see how he gets on, give him another year. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be the starting goalkeeper. I think Chelsea will try to sign somebody, and I do think that person is likely to be a number one, if there's a number one on the market, to compete with Petrovic. So I think you maybe have one spot available for a goalkeeper, and then you have Petrovic as number 2, and then you have Bettinelli as number 3. And believe it or not, we still do have 2 more goalkeepers to talk about. So the 4th one is Kepa Arrizabalaga. How many of you forgot about Kepa because he was on loan at Real Madrid this season? And this is an instance where I think we just need to sell Kepa. His contract expires in a year, so if we don't sell him now, we could risk losing him for free. We invested so much money on him. He had a 7-year contract, I believe, and this could be a bit of a cautionary tale about handing out those long-term contracts on players that were unproven in the Premier League and then just didn't end up working out, and it's been so difficult to get him off of the books. I personally don't see any situation really in which Kepa remains at the club next season. I don't think that he's going to stay and be the number 2. I say that, but then I do think like maybe if there's some world in which Chelsea really cannot get a starting goalkeeper and have to keep somebody, then maybe they'll keep Petrovic, keep Kepa, and not sell him. But I don't think that you want to lose him on a free transfer next year. So I do think that Kepa leaves this summer, and 73% of you agreed with me. And then last up is Gaga Slonina. So he was a really highly rated talent. There were a lot of top clubs that were looking to get his signature, and Chelsea were the winners of that. And he was sent on loan and played just over 2,500 minutes in the Belgian Pro League A last season. He didn't have the season that he would have wanted. His team got relegated, but he still is a very young talent. So I don't think that it's time to sell him just yet. I don't think he's ready yet either. So I would go for another loan spell and hope that this one works out. He's 20 years old, and for a goalkeeper, 20 years old is very, very young. Like, they can hit their prime well into their late 20s, even early 30s. So he still has a lot of time, and I just don't think that it would be wise to sell him at the moment. So for him, I would go for another loan spell. That wraps up video 1, the goalkeepers. Like I said, this one was the shortest of all of them because we don't have nearly as many players to talk about. But let me know in the comments, do you agree with what I've said? There could be a lot of differing opinions here about what you think we should do with Robert Sanchez, with Petrovic, with Kepa even. I was surprised that the number for Kepa wasn't higher for sell, to be honest. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think and what you want to see happen in this transfer window in terms of the goalkeepers. Keep your eyes out for the remaining videos in this series. I'm going to have defenders coming up next. It's going to be out 1 a day unless some crazy news drops, and in which case I cover that news instead and then push it a day, but it will be out, so check out your notifications to make sure that you don't miss that. If you like this video, make sure to drop it a like, comment, interact. I promise all of your interaction really helps other people to find my content and my channel, and I really, really appreciate it, and I just love knowing your thoughts as well and interacting with you guys. So make sure to sub, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this, and until next time, I'm out. Bye!